To begin, we'll briefly go over how I have this project set up. When you open it for the first time, you'll see a blank viewport right in the middle, but don't worry, if we switch the view mode from lit to unlit, you'll see that the ArchViz interior level is actually right in front of us. I've gone ahead and removed all of the light actors for this course, and I've also deleted anything out the windows. We'll just be using this as the foundation and virtual set for our course, so we'll be doing all the lighting, and that's why it doesn't look like anything yet. Before we do anything else though, let's just make sure our ray tracing is enabled for this project. Let's click on Edit, Project Settings. I'm going to search for Ray, and you'll see right down in the bottom, you'll see a ray tracing and a checkbox. So you'll just need to make sure that's checked, as well as DirectX 12. So if either of those weren't already set, you'll need to do that, and it'll also prompt you to restart the engine. Just a heads up. I'll turn this back to unlit. With that out of the way, I want to talk a little bit about the persistent level and sub-level setup that I'll be using to keep all of our lighting work organized. Let's open up the levels window by just clicking on Window, Levels, and I'll drag this over here on the left. And you'll see that we only have a persistent level loaded. There's no sub-levels currently. We're going to keep our set in the persistent level because I always want that to be there. We're not going to be cycling between different interiors. We're going to use sublevels to try out different lighting looks, actually. Let's go ahead and make our first sublevel, actually. And I'll do that by navigating in the content browser to the maps folder and the lighting subfolder. I'll right click and just select level. Let's call this LTG_sunlight version 1 to stay organized. And all I have to do is click and drag that into the levels window, and it'll place it right below our persistent level. This also activates that level in that we are currently working within it. You'll see down here in the bottom right of the viewport that the sunlight level is selected. If we wanted to go back and do some environment work, for example, on the set, we would want to make sure that we click back on the persistent level. Otherwise, any static meshes we bring into the scene would go into our lighting level, and we don't want that. To get back to our lighting level, you can either click down there in the viewport, or you can also just double click in the levels window on the level you want. I'm not only using sublevels to stay organized, it's easy to do look development and different lighting iterations because of this. All we have to do to try something new, for example, is to duplicate a level we've been working on and just drag it into the levels window. I like working like this because I don't need to use sequencer, for example, while I'm experimenting. I don't have to set keyframes, I don't have to worry about different light values and intensity values. I can just do things within certain sublevels and stay organized that way. This is also extremely useful if you're using source control and working with more artists, for example, in a virtual production pipeline. With this little process out of the way, it'll be easy for us to stay organized now.